We're here, big conversation about addressable TV, big conversation around programmatic TV. It's very operator and network focused conference, it seems to us. What are the challenges and opportunities for the broadcasters and the operators in using data decisioning to really maximize their business, and what are some of the challenges that they're facing, and what are they looking for you to solve?
I think that there's a lot of challenges, and I would break them into three components. I would say workflow is one, so how do I create a better experience between buyer and seller in the world that includes data? Data is another challenge because different agencies and different brands are going to need to utilize different data sets in order to buy and transact with that inventory source. So they need tools that help them be more ubiquitous across the market. And then third is optimization. So how do they take that data and apply it to their media and understand how to plan and forecast in the world where you're breaking apart media into smaller parts versus selling content as a proxy for data. So those are, to me, the big challenges that exist today.
So, and how do you guys, solve those issues?
We work with partners to try to solve it from a portfolio perspective, and I think that's one of the unique things about our platform is that we look at the portfolio across both digital and linear, and we think that media organizations and the sell side need to have a full understanding of all their assets. So why are you scoring higher over here for demographic? Why should you place more bets on content over here? And as you bring in this kind of third-party addressable data, how do you kind of bring that into the fold and maintain the level of yield and optimization that you've had in the past, and actually bring more value so that it's kind of the 1 + 1 is greater than 3 methodology. But we help them organize that through a platform. We help them apply data that can be more ubiquitous so they can sell to more places in the marketplace. And we make sense of that inventory so that from an allocation perspective, within the linear environment, they can create more yield. And from an allocation perspective in the digital environment, they can also make more yield.
Cool, and pricing is very different, isn't it, in the addressable world? How do you sort of manage that, or what are trends, or how is that sort of, advertising pricing figured?
I think it really, scarcity is one, right? If you have a unique data set that's really hard to find for an advertiser, they're willing to pay a premium. We don't really get into the pricing side of media. We help our partners have the tools to identify where audiences have massive scale, medium scale, or small scale. And I think based upon that, you may see the variables in pricing change because they know whether or not an audience is hard to find, harder to define, or whether it's a great reach and very common, and so the buyer can go to multiple places, so you'll see them typically price that at a lower price.
Cool. And Brent, we're really happy you're coming to the BTB Retreat next month. What do you think will be top of mind in terms of the industry, both operators, cable nets, and the buy side, and data and analytics and other vendors? What's sort of the conversation around addressable and programmatic TV that you think needs to be sort of hashed out, if you will?
Well, I think the upfronts are going to be top of mind because it's right around the corner, and I think that most of the attendees there put their toe in the water last year and tested a few things. And I think now we're getting to a place where rubber is going to meet the road, and they're really trying to identify where they're going to make their bets for this upcoming season. So I think from the programmer side, it'll be exciting to understand where they are, where they stand, where their tool set is today, and what they can offer to the market. And from the buy side, I think what's going to be exciting is to understand a little bit more about what's going to be required. And let's see if those two things mesh up or if they don't, because I think if they do, we're going to have an exciting 16, and if not, we might be having an exciting 17.